Question 755. What work of fiction do you feel has most impact on your feelings about religion?
Not to be a dick, but the Bible.
I was wondering someone to say that.
I'm not saying that the Bible is whole cloth fiction. I'm one of those agnostics who say there could be some divine inspiration if something divine exists, but humans have fucked it up so much that it can't be valid. It's self-contradictory in so many ways that it is outright fictional in so many cases. And that but they said this here and that there sharpened my critical thinking about books or about religious texts in general. So I would have to say the Bible.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Amanda?
Don't know. Get back to me. Let me think about it.
Not helpful. That's
Oh, you never answer.
That's big.
I don't know. There's well, Jim Dodge, Stone Junction, as I say, is one of my favorite books because there is sort of a subline story in it that makes me think of religion, but not really had an influence or an impact on me.
Right.
I don't want to give the storyline away, but there's things in the story that make me think about religion, but I've already had my thoughts on them, not really had an impact or.
You could say like the Stranger, because it kind of made me, and not that I was, I was never actually religious or ever believed, but that kind of cemented the whole, nihilism thing for me, which I guess could impact my feelings about religion. I don't know.
Mine would definitely be Of Mice and Men by Steinbeck. Not that it did not have a lot of overt religion in it at all, but even at the age I saw it, I first experienced Of Mice and Men in 6th grade, and I already knew by that point that the South meant religion, Bible Belt, all that stuff, and so it was like a presumed thing that there were many forces that were religiously based, and it just angered the hell out of me that people who professed anger would also treat Lenny so badly and ultimately kill him. It would definitely a contributing factor to this religion's bullshit.
I've got runners up. Sorry.
Second place goes to
The Ender Saga and God damn it. The Dune series.
I don't think I've ever read the Dune series, actually.
Just some dusty old books.
Yep, love tape again.
Which one's me? Right.
Have I answered? I know snarkily put in the chat, like, well, was that also as well put the Bible, but I mean, yes, yeah, but I don't know. I don't think there's any one thing in particular. I mean, I could say, obviously some of Douglas Adams' books could argue, but I don't know. It's just maybe a lot of different sort of things that have affected me in a small way whatsoever. But I don't know that really any particular work of fiction is like stood out to me as something that had helped form my views or whatever, or my feelings about religion.
Sammy says the clandestine prophecy by Richard Bach. Can't think when I just read sci-fi and horror fiction. I've not anything. Doc says Star Trek. That and lots of other fiction mythology helped me with. It's all made up by people. You see, I was going to say the Hyperion series, which no one knows, so that obviously doesn't help. But fine, point at you then. But June has got to come a close second, especially the later books. Nanda?
No, I just meant I know the Hyperion series, so just
No. Right, did anyone not answer when I said
nobody knows it but me because I'm super smart and everybody's dumb.
it's not a fucking super smart book? It's just a not heard of book.
Not, but still, Kitty. Sorry.
Yeah. It's but no, I think probably I could more easily point to works of fiction that have impacted my views on things like politics than I could religion. I'd say probably so.
Entirely. But although saying that, I think most things that would influence you about politics would probably influence you about religion as well.
Yeah, probably, but I couldn't.
True.
I couldn't say. What I mean is, I couldn't say any one particular thing that has really stood out to me on like the religion question. Now, when it comes to politics, I could definitely say the TV series The Wire definitely had a big impact on the way I view the world, politically. But
Philippa Gregory does a series of fictional books about like the Tudors and stuff, and but it's based mostly in historical facts, and she just embellishes a little bit. It's really interesting to go through and see, how religion kind of tore apart your country because some dude wanted to divorce his wife and just completely fucked everything up.
I know.
So.
But it's not like this again. That's one of those weird things I find about history in general. Though it's not like it happened then. It was much longer coming. Yeah. It's just that was the significant event that made it that triggered, and that's the thing we all remember.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like it was this schism that came out of nowhere.
It absolutely wasn't.
The separation between the Catholics and the Protestants at that point anyway was starting to grow, but he flip-flopped back and forth because he kept getting a different wife that had a different belief anyway. The thing with that and is I don't think Henry VIII really at any time his life. I mean, we had this so-called Reformation under him, but which was supposedly the Church of England is supposedly like a Protestant church. Yet, if you really look at it, it's still very much in that Roman Catholic kind of mold.
But the Church of England existed before then.
Yeah, but I mean, effectively, all the only thing that effectively really happened was that effectively the church was nationalised in Britain. Effectively,
yes, and he became the Pope,
and the king became the Pope. But really, a lot of other stuff. It was always like, because you remember a lot of the ideas that had come in because they'd existed from Germany at the time. Obviously, Luther a few years before that, and so on. It didn't just come out of nowhere. But I mean, but there was definitely it was a growing movement, and yes, okay, maybe the right people. Probably Anne Boleyn, and I'd say possibly Thomas Cromwell as well, were the right people in the right place to get in the king's ear about things like this. But look what happened to both of them later on. So.
When the Anglicans and the Catholics and the Eastern Orthodox will exchange priests with one another, and acknowledge each other's ordinations, are you really a separate church?
Not really.
The point is who's in charge, and that's all it is. It's who's in charge of which region. They're basically countries now.
Some cunt somewhere else.
I have an addition or a change in mind. There was this TV series, since we're talking about TV, there was this TV series that I saw when I was a kid. Maybe you've seen it also, Davy and Goliath.
Oh, I've heard of this. Is this the one with the talking dog?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
I've seen the piss taken out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, as it should be. It was by the Lutheran Church of America. I don't know which division or synod or whatever, which one. But I was young enough that, I still had this God-fearing sense in me and all that kind of stuff. But, the only one of them that I clearly remember, the lesson I drew from it was don't reuse a cotter pin. So I don't know how effective it was.
But I'd say it's been less again with works of fiction. It's been less works of fiction. Sometimes like people like comedians and that have had a real effect on the way I view religion or whatever. Like you listen to a bit of like George Carlin, Bill Hicks, even like going back to the 70s, the Irish comic Dave Allen, listen to the way they talk about religion and you realise what they're saying. It actually makes a lot of fucking sense.
Not wrong.
No, none of it. Yeah.
Right. Next question. Down to the level of this panel. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.